Hello and welcome to HTML 101. This is lesson 2. Today we will make our objectives be placing a link into a web page and how to add an image to a web page. To get started, I would simply open up my folder where I saved my original document. This is my HTML, and I would change this to all files. And I would just go ahead and open up my first web page code. That way I don't have to retype the opening tags that are always common to every HTML web page. And I can go ahead and go in here and just delete this section. I will change the title to reflect what I'm working with, so that if I need to look back later on where something was done, I can say links and images. And I will save my work as, not my first web page, but as links and images, noticing that I'm not putting any spaces in there, and make sure this is all files. Links and images.html. Go ahead and hit save. And if I were to open that up right now, what you would see would be nothing, since there's nothing in the body. So we'll go ahead and show you that. Here's HTML. I'll open up the links and images page, and as you can see, my title's changed, but nothing appears here since nothing is in the body part of the code. We'll go ahead and put our first link in. I think we'll use the anchor tag, and we'll say let's go to Google. We'll build a link to go to Google. Once we've opened and closed our anchor tag, we need the attribute which directs this anchor tag to the proper location. For this application, it is href equals, and you will need to put the http://www.google.com, the full web address. And if I hit File and save, and then go ahead and refresh my page, what you'll see is a link right here underlined, and when I scroll over it, my hand appears on my web browser. Should I click it, then it takes me out to Google, as you see right here. But I can hit the browser back button, get back to my page, and go ahead and pop open my code. Now we're going to add a image. And to do that, we need the image tag and the attribute src, equals, and I'm going to go ahead and name this a little bit. If you remember, we created a graphics folder in the previous lesson for storing stuff, and so I'm going to put image src graphics equal, and I'm going to look for a cat, and I better not do that yet, but going to look for a cat image. Kind of just get this out of my way for a minute. Go ahead and pop over here to Google. Let's type in cat, see what we can find. Here's a bunch of little things starting to pop up, but let's use the images link. And then let's go ahead and use the usage rights with search more tools and select labeled for reuse. In doing this, what I'm doing is selecting an image that is legal for me to use on the web, and I won't get in trouble copyright-wise or anything of that nature. I'm going to right-click it and save the image as cat. I want to save it in my graphics folder, which is, let's get back here, see my HTML. That's here's my disk, here's my HTML, and I had a graphics folder created, so I'm going to go ahead and name that cat, and it's going to be saved as a JPEG, so JPG will be the extension. Just go ahead and say save. Then I'm going to pop back over into my code and finish this out. So I'm looking for cat JPG out of my graphics folder. And if I say file and save and go ahead and return to, oops, I have to get that back open. I closed it down. Return back to my web page real quick. Links and images. then what you'll see is, my link's still there, and here's the picture of my cat. But if you notice, it's extremely large, and thankfully, because of this, there are attribute tags that will allow us to make this image much smaller. It's always better to have a large image, because when you reduce it, it will remain clear, whereas if you try to take a small image and make it larger, it'll just distort it. So let's go with, and I'll make that like 300 pixels, which is approximately 4 inches wide. And I could put the height in there, but if I don't know the ratio height to width, then I will distort the image as well. In fact, I'll go ahead and show you that. Like, let's say I said I only want it to be 200 pixels tall, then you'll see what happens. Let's go ahead and just show you. So height equal 200, say file and save, and then go back here and refresh that. And what you see is I've distorted my image and I've squished it. Whereas if I were to have simply let maybe leave the height and do away with the width, or leave the width and do away with the height, and just say file, save, what you'll see is the picture will resize itself appropriately to the specified attribute provided. Okay, that should be the easiest way for you to learn how to put in a length and an image. Why not add on one more thing, since we've got a little bit of time, and show you that instead of go to Google, we could really just go ahead and put this image in this place. And what will happen, since that image falls between the anchor tags, is the image itself will become the link. See, so notice now you have an image and no link, but yep, lo and behold, when I scroll over it, the hand appears and it will take me to Google. Hope you enjoyed lesson 2. We look forward to seeing you at lesson 3. Thank you.